Hare Krishna to everybody. We'll start. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana यशोधानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे राधा माधव राधा माधव जय राधा माधव जय अष्ट सखी राधा माधव जय अष्ट सखी जय 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 प्रभुपाद जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद जय 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 गुरुदेव जय श्रीला गुरुदेव श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय राधा माधव अष्ट सखी की जय जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय गौर निताय की जय पंच तत्व की जय काय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठुकी मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानंद माधवम Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from third canto, chapter 25, the glories of devotional service, text number 30. I think we covered up to 31 last time, right? No, 30 we covered last time. So just to give the recap of what we covered in the past. So what had happened was Devahuti is inquiring about various things, and now Kapila Deva is answering his mother. He is saying that he is describing the Bhakti Yoga mainly. And while describing the Bhakti Yoga, he is giving the qualities of the great devotees. What are the qualities of the devotees he is describing. And then he is telling that devotees association is very, very important. And the last three slokas, what we saw, it was all about the benefits of associating with devotees of the Lord and the qualities of the devotees of the Lord. So In fact, everyone wants good qualities. Everyone desires to have good qualities. So we desire to have good qualities, but in practice, we find we also exhibit our bad qualities also. I wouldn't say bad qualities. Yeah, okay. We also exhibit our qualities which are not very palatable. That also we do that. It comes very naturally, always. But when we are in the association of devotees, all very good qualities automatically develops. The qualities which are there for the Supreme Lord, the qualities which are in the Devatas, those qualities are developed by the devotees of the Lord. And if we want to also develop those qualities, then we have to be in the association of devotees. What type of association? It has to be a physical association. That's why when you go to temples, you find so many people are there, so many people are doing so much of seva in the temples. Is there? And when we associate with devotees and along with them we do seva, very automatically the two most important quality of humility and the tolerance we develop. It's a must. When we see this entire thing, the entire Bhagavatam, you find in so many places the quality of patience and the quality of tolerating others that gets described in many, many places in different cantos. You'll find that. Because the Lord appreciates these two qualities. To tolerate another person is not easy. We have our own experience, right? How much we all lose our cool when someone is not doing what we want him to do, or when someone is doing something that is not agreeable to my way of thinking. We become impatient. But the patience is something that we need to exhibit. And if I got that real patience need not be just I keep my mouth shut. That doesn't mean that I'm patient. Sometimes I may keep my mouth shut, but I exhibit my impatience and my annoyance, my irritation through my face, my body language. That is also not acceptable. In fact, the whole thing has to just get out of me. Good qualities have to develop. So Bhagavatam is helping us to develop these good qualities. Only by reading Bhagavatam daily we can develop these good qualities also. So when all these things are being explained, at that time, Devahuti is saying, you have explained the various processes of devotional service, you have explained, O Kapila, my dear son. But then I'm not been able to understand it so clearly. You need to explain to me more. Because basically, Kapila Deva has been explaining only the Bhakti Yoga. Although there are Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, all those processes are there. Kapila Deva has been describing Bhakti Yoga. And while describing Bhakti Yoga, there are Navavida Bhakti is also there. So that Navavida Bhakti is also being, when he has explained that Navavida Bhakti, she wants to know, yes, Navavida Bhakti is there, but which one? Now to really take up. So those questions also come up for him. So last time also we described this Navavida Bhakti, right? You remember? Navavida Bhakti? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Vandanam,
Yes, you
Archanam.
did.
Yeah. So it goes like that. Okay. So this Navavida Bhakti has been given, and what happens is that she's asking this question, and when she's asking today, we'll see what is being answered for all these things. So text 31, it says, Maitri Uvacha Viditvartam Kapilo Maturittam Jatasneho Yatra Tanva Vichataha Tatvam Nayam Yat Pravadanti Sankyam Provacha Vai Bhaktivitana Yogam. Sri Maitreya said, after hearing the statement of his mother, Kapila could understand her purpose and he became compassionate towards her because of being born of her body. He described the Sankhya system of philosophy, which is a combination of devotional service and mystic realization, as received by disciplic succession. So this compassion is another great quality all the devotees have. When I say all the devotees, when I mean advanced devotees, they have. This compassion, being merciful to others, being what do you call that? Yeah, towards showing that daya, what do you call the daya, towards others and helping others to overcome the problems. The biggest compassion what the devotees show is to give them the Krishna consciousness. Because everybody in this world is suffering. And they are suffering only because of taking this birth. Once you get a human body, Prabhupada has explained, getting a human body itself is the biggest punishment man is getting. Because with this body, we know how much we undergo, what all sufferings we undergo with this body and the mind, both of them. So if you have to be free from all the sufferings, then we should not be getting this human body at all. No material body we should get. And if I don't have to get a material body, then I should not come into this universe. Material universe, I should not. So what is the way? If I don't want to come into this material universe, then I have to be in the spiritual universe. And only if I'm in the spiritual universe, will I be free from all the miseries of life. That's being explained. So, having said this, now he's going to the 32 sloka and he's being says, Sri Bhagavan Vacha Devanam Gunalinganam Anushravika Karmanam Sattva Ekai Kamanaso Vrittihi. Sorry, Sattva Ekai Kamanaso Evaika Manaso Vrittihi Swabhaviki Tuya Animitta Bhagavati Bhakti Siddher Gariyasi. Translation. So, text 32, somebody read the translation, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Lord Kapila said, the senses are symbolic representations of the demigods, and their natural inclination is to work under the direction of the Vedic injunctions. As the senses are representatives of the demigods, so the mind is a representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The mind's natural duty is to serve. When that service spirit is engaged in devotional service to the personality of Godhead without any motive, that is far better even than salvation.
Purport.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The senses of the living entity are always engaged in some occupation, either in activities prescribed in the injunctions of the Vedas or in material activities. The natural inclination of the senses is to work for something, and the mind is the center of the senses. The mind is actually the leader of the senses. Therefore, it is called sattva. Similarly, the leader of all the demigods who are engaged in the activities of this material world, the sun god, moon god, Indra, and others, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Here, first of all, we have to understand, once we are in this material world, all of us are engaged in some activity or the other. And we are engaged in some activity or the other through our indriyas. We are there. Why are we engaged in this? Do you find anyone not doing anything? Even an animal or a bird or an insect or a worm, they are always busy. Doing something or the other, they're doing. It is because it is the nature of the soul to be active. If I'm active, see, we can understand this point very easily. We say this man is a very active man. We say, but actually, even the most active man, the minute the soul is out of the body, activity stops for that man also. So what is active? The body is not active. The soul is active. Because the soul is very active, the man through his senses is engaged in some activity or the other. So all of us are doing some work or the other. And it is the nature of the soul to serve. We are all serving somebody or the other. Either I serve my wife, or I serve my husband, or I serve my children. I serve, if I'm going to school, I'm serving the teachers, the students. Everybody is serving everybody. I serve the community, I serve the society, I serve the nation. Everyone is serving because it's our nature to serve others. So because my nature is to be always engaged in some service, that's why it says, Our nature is to serve. And if you have to serve always, then why not serve the Supreme Lord? That is a question. No? That is the best way to serve. So, Jivere Swarupohe Nityara Krishna Dhasa. Dhasa means what? Servant. We are all servants in this world, serving somebody or the other. But then as smart people, we should serve the Supreme Lord. As intelligent people, we should try to serve the Supreme Lord.
It is stated in the Vedic literature that the demigods are different limbs of the universal body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Our senses are also controlled by different demigods. Our senses are representations of various demigods, and the mind is a representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The senses, led by the mind, act under the influence of the demigods. When the service is ultimately aimed at the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the senses are in their natural position. The Lord is called Rishikesha, for he is actually the proprietor and ultimate master of the senses. The senses and the mind are naturally inclined to work, but when they are materially contaminated, they work for some material benefit or for the service of the demigods, although actually they are meant to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The senses are called Rishikesha and the Supreme
The senses are called
Rishika, sorry, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead is called Rishikesha. Indirectly, all the senses are naturally inclined to serve the Supreme Lord. That is called Bhakti.
Sarvopadir Vinirmuktam Tatparatpena Nirmanam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevaya Bhaktir Uchate. It says that, Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam. So that is the Rishikesha means, Rishika means all the senses. Rishikesha means the master of the senses. So Krishna is also addressed as Rishikesha because he is the master of all the demigods. And all the demigods, all the devas are responsible for each and every part of our body. Even if I'm talking, that tongue is controlled by one of the demigods. My eyes, Chakshu, is controlled by some demigod. My ears are Shrotram, that is controlled by some demigod. My limbs are controlled by some. This has been covered in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. If we go into the second canto, all these things are explained there. How the different devatas are responsible for the different parts of our body. And when we serve the Supreme Lord, automatically what happens is all the devatas get satisfied. We don't have to really try to serve each and every devata. No need. Just simply by serving the Supreme Lord, all the devatas are satisfied because all the devatas are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Like, if you have to make a tree, if you want to nourish a tree, where will you pour water? You will pour water at the root of the tree. Is it not? The root of the tree is somewhere below the ground. And if the tree is a grown-up tree, the topmost leaf may be something 20 or 50 feet above the ground level. But still, even that leaf above 50 feet above the ground level, even that gets nourished because the root of the tree has been watered. Similarly, Krishna is the root, Mula Karanam for everything. So if we satisfy Krishna, automatically all the devatas, all the living entities, everybody will get satisfied. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. It is being explained. So all the living entities, everybody will get satisfied if we serve Krishna very nicely. That is why he's a Rishikesha, and that's what we should try. And but unfortunately what happens is, our soul is contaminated. Our mind is contaminated with material things. So many attractions for the material things are. So how do I get out of this material attraction? Only when I get attracted to only when I develop a higher taste. When I develop an attraction for something which is higher than what I am attached to now, automatically what happens is the attraction for the lower things will go away and my attraction for a superior thing will develop. And once my attraction for the superior thing is developed, then immediately all my material attraction will also start getting reduced. For developing, to get detached from all the material things, the first thing we have to do is we have to think in terms of controlling the tongue. The minute the tongue is controlled, the tongue is brought under control, automatically all the senses will be brought under control. And the tongue is brought under control only by chanting the holy name of the Lord and by eating the Krishna prasadam. When we do this, the tongue comes under control, because it's said that of all the senses in the body, the most difficult thing to control is the tongue. Tongue has got no function. It has got only two functions. One is to talk and another is to eat. No other function it has got. And these two functions are very, very important functions. Both of us, we need to know how to control what to eat and what not to eat, and what to talk and what not to talk. And it says it can be done only by chanting the holy name of the Lord and by eating the Krishna prasada. The minute we do it, automatically it will come under control. All the senses will come under control, and all the senses will become freed from the material contamination, and we'll be able to engage ourselves in the devotional service of the Lord. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Kapila Deva said that when the senses, without desire for material profit or other selfish motives, are engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one is situated in devotional service. That spirit of service is far better than siddhi, salvation. Bhakti, the inclination to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is in a transcendental position far better than mukti or liberation. Thus, bhakti is the stage after liberation. Unless one is liberated, one cannot engage the senses in the service of the Lord. When the senses are engaged either in material activities of sense gratification or in the activities of Vedic injunctions, there is some motive. But when the same senses are engaged in the service of the Lord and there is no motive, that is called animitta and is a natural inclination of the mind. The conclusion is that when the mind, without being deviated, either by Vedic injunctions or by material activities, is fully engaged in Krishna consciousness or devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is far better than the most aspired for liberation from material entanglement. Hare Krishna.
How people do Jnana Yoga to gain material, to gain a lot of knowledge. Karma Yoga they do to get some fruitive benefits, so that they engage in different religious activities, so that their life will become smooth, peaceful in this world, and they can go to the Swargaloka, where they can enjoy the life. They believe in that. Then you get also the Ashtanga Yoga, where you try to control all your senses, so that you are not attracted by anything material, and you think in terms of getting a mukti or liberation. But bhakti is something superior to all these things. Bhakti means even mukti is included in that. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janetyashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chet Ahaitukam. In Jnana Yoga, you're trying to get the knowledge of the Lord, become a jnani. Similarly, by doing Ashtanga Yoga, you are trying to become sort of a siddhi. You want to get out of all this material entanglement and liberation you are thinking of, mukti you are thinking of. Siddhi, mukti, all these things, you are trying to get. But bhakti covers both siddhi and mukti. Everything it's covered. So as intelligent person, we should do bhakti. That's what is being explained by Kapila Deva. And what type of bhakti should be done? Anya vilashita shunyam jnana karma dhyanavartam anukulyena krishnanu shelanam bhakti uttama. When one is engaged in the topmost bhakti, it is said, it is anya abhilashita shunyam. No abhilasha, no desire for anything material, nothing. Shunyam is zero, no material desire. No desire, anya abhilashita shunyam, jnanam karmadi anavritam. Not wanting to gain this imperial, what do you call that? this knowledge or fruitive activities. Nana abhilash, anabhilash nana karmadi anavritam. Anukulyena Krishnanu. Anukulya means anukul, being very anukul. All my seva and everything is very, very anukul, very, very favorable to aligned to the desire of the Supreme Lord. That is being anukulya. Anukulyena Krishnam. Sheelanam bhaktir uttama. That is the highest, topmost type of devotional service one has to do. So, our devotional service should be. So, if it has to be topmost service, then it is without any motivation, without any interruption. It becomes, when I don't have any motivation when I'm doing my devotional service, automatically everything falls in place. Krishna becomes very pleased. Because every day people come to him only with motivation. I want this, I want that, I want my daughter to get married, I want my son to get a good job, I want grandchildren, I want this. Nowadays, prayer is for everybody. I want wealth, I want a good position, something or the other. You give me this and I will give you back this. All business deals people engage in with the Supreme Lord. And he's tired of all these things, always coming with all these business deals. So, if someone is praying to Krishna without any business deal, without asking anything from him, except for bhakti for him, except bhakti means the desire to serve Krishna to his satisfaction, then what happens is Krishna gets very pleased. Even, this man is coming to me not asking for anything. What should I give him? So he tries to give lots of things, but you are not interested in any of those things. When I am not interested in any of those things, then finally he gives me that entire pure bhakti he starts giving. So that pure bhakti also comes only by his mercy. Just because I want to become a pure bhakta, I cannot become a pure bhakta. And the minute I become a pure bhakta of the Lord, when I'm on the right path, many things are opened up for me. Dadami buddhiyogam tam enamam upayantite. Many things are opened for me and I'm able to understand the Supreme Personality of God very easily. I'm able to understand Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam very easily. I'm able to develop an interest in hearing and listening to it and reading it and trying to apply it in my life. Because I have no other interest. I'm very eager to serve the Supreme Lord. Then only this interest comes. Otherwise, we find, we have to see how much I'm interested in my Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, how much it is. We have limited interest only in this world because we are not still totally free from that material attachments and other motives what we have now. So he says, once you are free from all these things, bhakti, you try to take up the right path by chanting his holy name. So chanting is the most powerful. And only by chanting, Hari Nama, Hari Nama, Hari Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva, 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 Gati Ranyata. You don't have any other Gati. For Kali Yuga, only Namasmaranam is this. Namasmaranam is a Sarva Papa Pranasham. Pranamo Dukkha Shamanastam Namami Haripaya. It says. Namasankirtanam is Sarva Papa Pranashanam. Just by doing Namasankirtan, all the papas will get burned to ashes. And we all know how much of papa we have done. We may not know really, but we at least we know generally that, yes, many of my sufferings in this world is only because of my papa karmas. We know that, my unhappiness, my body problems, my mental problems, all these are because of my papa karmas. After all, the body consists of only two things, right? Gross body and the subtle body. Either a gross body gives me trouble or my subtle body gives me trouble. Sometimes both gives trouble. That is it. It's all because of the papa karmas. So I have to be freed from all these papa karmas. And if I have to be freed from all these papa karmas, then the only solution is to take shelter of the Supreme Lord, Krishna. And if I have to take shelter of the Krishna, I have to chant his holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I have to keep on chanting. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Satatam Kirten Tomam Etantascha Dradavrataha Namasantascha Mam Bhaktya Nityayukta Upasate. He says, Satatam Kirten Tomam. Krishna says that he is not saying whenever you get time you chant my name. He is not telling like that. And exactly that is what we do. He chants his name only when I get some time for it. Otherwise my time is engaged in so many material activities. But Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Satatam Kirten Tomam. He says. Ananyas chintyanto mam. He says, Ananyas chintyanto mam ejanaha paripasate tesham nityavyuktanam yogakshamam vamyam. Ananyas chintyanto mam means what? Without deviation of your mind on anything else that is material, please think of me only. Krishna is saying like that. What I am doing, I am thinking of everything else. And whenever I don't have anything else to do, at that time I think, why not I think of Krishna? That is also very difficult. That also I don't think. I don't get the taste only to chant his holy name many times. I say that I want to chant, but I don't get the taste because my mind is not controlled. My senses are not controlled. I'm very much attracted by the material things because I don't have a proper association. That's why, prior to the coming to here, Kapila Deva explained about the benefits of associating with the devotees of the God. You all want to associate with material activities, materially minded people, so that we can get material knowledge, want to show that I also know something, I'm also a part of the group. All these things, people, we all try to do these things. But none of these things are going to help me to gain that real happiness, that bliss. That bliss comes only when I'm not engaged. Sorry, the material bliss comes only when I'm engaged in the service of the Supreme Lord. It comes. So we'll go to the next sloka, text 33. One of the shortest slokas. This is only one single line. Jarityashu ya osham nigirnam analo yata jarayati ashuyo akosham nigirnam analo yata. Read translation. Please read this.
Bhakti
Gita Mataji, you can
devotional
read this.
service. Bhakti devotional service dissolves the subtle body of the living entity without separate effort, just as fire in the stomach digests all that we eat.
Purport. Say purport and read the purport.
Bhakti is in a far higher position than mukti because a person's endeavor to get liberation from the material engagement is automatically served in devotional service. The example is given here that the fire in the stomach can digest whatever we eat.
If the digestive power is sufficient, then whatever we can eat will be digested by the fire in the stomach. Similarly, a devotee does not have to try separately to attain liberation. Very service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the process of his liberation, because to engage oneself in the service of the Lord is to liberate oneself from the material entanglement. Sri Bilva Mangala Thakura explained this position very nicely. He said, if I have unflinching devotion unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, then mukti or liberation serves me as my maid servant. Mukti, the maid servant, is always ready to do whatever I ask.
Yeah, 1 minute, hold on, please here. So you see,
brother.
as we read before in the previous slok also, bhakti is superior to mukti. So once so if you are trying only for a mukti, that is liberation from this material universe, then that is not the ultimate. Ultimate is to attain the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. And that can come only by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. And that mercy comes only when we engage in his devotional service. Nothing else comes. No? And when I am doing my bhakti, what happens? Automatically, everything else is taken care of. Bhakti, mukti, siddhi, everything gets taken care of because bhakti covers everything. That's why Sutta Goswami in the first canto itself says, Vasudeve Bhagavati Sarvayoga Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janetyashu Vairagyam Jnanam Ched Ahe to come. He says, Vairagyam and Jnanam both are covered once we do bhakti. We don't have to do separate endeavor to get either Vairagya or to get Jnana. Everything we will get automatically. So just like when we eat, the digestive power is strong, if the Jatragni is working very well, automatically everything will get digested. Similarly, when I'm engaged in bhakti, automatically mukti and siddhi, that is also covered. So, that's why it says one has to engage in the service of the Lord is to liberate oneself from material entanglement, and automatically that happens. Because you can have attachment, only one attachment you can have. Either attachment for the Supreme Lord or attachment for the material things. You can't have both. We cannot become too smart and think that I will have both material enjoyment and spiritual enjoyment. That is not possible. But if I have my spiritual enjoyment, automatically material requirements are also taken care of, because I become contented with whatever I have. And a person who is contented with whatever he has, in whatever situation he is the happiest man in this universe. You don't have to make any special effort to become happy. You don't have to make special efforts to get anything in this world. Everything you get automatically the minute you engage yourself in bhakti and you get that blissful and you attain that blissful state. That's why Sri Bilvamangala Thakura, I don't know whether you people know about the story of Bilvamangala Thakura. I can take it at another time. He was a great devotee of the Lord. He was blind. He was always constantly thinking of the Lord. He was chanting the holy name of the Lord, to the extent that Lord used to come and hold his hand and take him around in Vrindavan, whenever he wanted to go. So he says, if I have that unflinching devotion unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, then mukti or liberation serves me as my maid servant. Mukti, the maid servant, is always ready to do whatever I ask. People are struggling so much. The jnanis especially and the Ashtanga yogis, they're struggling so much to get mukti. That is freedom from the material entanglement. But Krishna says bhakti means automatically everything is anashaktasya vishyan etaraham upayinjataha nirbandha Krishna sambandhe uktam vairagyam uchyate. It says, anashaktasya vishyan, not attached to anything that is material, but at the same time accepts a devotee, he is not attached to anything material. But at the same time, he accepts everything material that can be utilized in the service of Krishna, not for his own purpose, but for the purpose of Krishna, service of Krishna. When he does that, that is considered the highest level of vairagya. That is highest level of renunciation. Go ahead, Mataji.
For a devotee, liberation is no problem at all. Liberation takes place without separate endeavor. Bhakti is therefore far better than mukti or the impersonalist position. The impersonalist undergoes severe penances and austerities to attain mukti. But the bhakta, simply by engaging himself in the bhakti process, especially in chanting Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, immediately develops control over the tongue by engaging it in chanting and by accepting the remnants of foodstuff offered to the personality of Godhead. As soon as the tongue is controlled, naturally all other senses are controlled automatically. Sense control is the perfection of the yoga principle, and once liberation begins immediately as soon as he engages himself in the service of the Lord. It is confirmed by the Kapila Deva that bhakti or devotional service is Gariyashi, more glorious than Siddhi liberation. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Correct, yes. So, it says, no, Ataha Sri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahya indrehi sevonmukhi jivado swayam eva spurati adaha. It says like that. The meaning is something like this, that Krishna's name, form, qualities, pastimes, they are all on the absolute platform, and I am not able to understand all those things, because my dull material senses cannot understand them easily. But the minute Atha Sri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahyam indreyi, my indriyas cannot understand. Bhaved grahyam indreyi sevon mukhi jivado swayam eva swarati adaha. But the minute I engage my tongue in the service of the Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and eating Krishna Prasadam, then the tongue comes under control. And when the tongue comes control, gradually all the senses come under control. then only I am in a position to understand Krishna. So that's why the tongue control is very, very important. And that is why chanting the holy name of the Lord is very important. People chant, one round they chant, then they say one, Basoya, for today this is enough, I've chanted sufficient. No, it's not like that. 24 hours, I'm just trying to give only 10 minutes for chanting. The rest of the time, I'm engaged in material activities. How will the tongue come under control? How will the senses come under control? It will not come under control. And as long as these senses do not come under control, I am also not very contented. I am also not peaceful. I always have some turbulence in my mind, something other. So sense control is what is the yoga? What are they teaching in yoga? To control all your senses to everything, is it not? Then only your liberation, you can get it. That's what in Yoga Siddhi they are teaching. But this is possible by simply engaging in the service of the Lord. And this is what has been confirmed by Kapila Deva. Bhakti or devotional service is more glorious than Mukti and Siddhi, he says. Okay, so we'll go to the next shloka, 3.25.34. Nekatmatam me sprihyanti kechin matpada seva virata madiha yenyo nyato bhagavata prasajya sabhajayante mama paurushani. Translation. Please somebody read it now. It is there on the screen, so you can read it directly from the screen.
A pure devotee who is attached into the activities of devotional service and who always engages in the service of my lotus feet never desires to become one with me. Such a devotee who is unattachingly engaged always glorifies my pastimes and activities.
Unflinchingly engaged, who is
unflinchingly
engaged, always glorifies my pastimes and activities.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Read the purport, please.
There are 5 kinds of liberation stated in the scriptures. One is to become one with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or to forsake one's individuality and merge into the Supreme Spirit. This is called
Ekatmatam.
Matam. A devotee never accepts this kind of liberation. The other 4 liberations are to be promoted to the same planet as God, Vaikuntha, to associate personally with the Supreme Lord, to achieve the same opulence as the Lord, and to attain the same bodily features as the Supreme Lord. A pure devotee, as will be explained by Kapila Muni, does not aspire for any of the 5 liberations. He especially despises hellish the idea of becoming one with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhunanda Saraswati, a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya, said, Kaivalyam narakutayate. The happiness of becoming
narakayate.
The happiness of becoming one with the Supreme Lord, which is aspired for by the Mayavadis, is considered hellish. The oneness is not for pure devotees.
Yeah, now one bit wait. So here, there are 5 kinds of liberation that has been explained. Anyone knows what are the 5 kinds of liberation?
One is Sayujya Mukti, that is getting one with the God. Am I right, Prabhu?
Yes, right.
Then Srashti means having as much opulence as the God.
Correct.
And then Salokya means you are in the same loka as the God.
Correct.
Then Samipya, you are very near to the God.
Yeah.
Then Sarupya. Sarupya is you having the same features, same rupa as that of God.
Correct. Very good. So these are the 5 types of liberation that has been explained. Of all these 5, and these 5 process of liberation. One is becoming one with the Supreme Personality. There are many people saying, we want to merge with the Supreme Lord and all those things. That is not encouraged by the great acharyas. They are saying no point in becoming one with the Supreme Lord. Any particular reason why there is no point in becoming one with the Supreme Lord? Any comments, any answers for that? We have covered this.
Can I or somebody else, Prabhu?
Yeah, no, you can. Yeah, nobody has raised the hand. You can do that.
Because there is there is no service. There is
Correct.
no company.
Yeah. So we covered this in the last class also for benefit of others. He said that in Sarupya what happens? Sayuja Mukti what happens? We become one with the Lord. And there is no devotional service there. And what is the nature of the soul?
Nature of the soul.
Always active.
Nature of the soul is.
Nature of the soul is to be active, is it not?
To be service, to do service.
Correct, to do service. And when you become one with the Lord, where is the service? There is no service. So the soul gets frustrated. So soul doesn't want to become one with the Lord. It doesn't want to merge into the Brahmajyoti of the Lord because there is no service involved. And the nature of the soul is to be always active, to do seva. We are all serving, is it not, in this world? Are we not serving somebody or the other in this world? Are we keeping quiet? We are always serving somebody or the other, whether we like it or not. Everyone is serving somebody else. Jivena Swarupo he Nityera Krishna Dasa. The Swarupa of the Jivatma is to serve the Supreme Lord. But unfortunately, in this material world, it is serving so many, it is serving itself, it's trying to do all those things. Because of that, the soul is never happy. That is the reason why people are not happy in this material world. Happiness comes, temporary happiness comes and goes away. But majority of the time, people have got some problem or the other. Even if they don't have anything, the mind is not very excited, it is not very bubbling with enthusiasm. No, the enthusiasm is also lost. You feel so dejected, so morose, all these things people feel because it is not being engaged in the right type of service. The right type of service is only to simply serve the Lord and the devotees of the Lord. And that makes your life simply great. People feel if only engaging in spiritual life, then there is no life. There is a lot of life in that. When you engage in the service of the Lord, that's all varieties what you find in this material world, you find in the service of the Lord. The varieties are given by the Lord. You can do Shringar for the Lord. So that is one type of service. You can sing bhajans for the Lord. That is another type of service. You can make nice prasadam for the Lord, bhoga, offer it to the Lord. Plenty of services are there. Reading Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, these are also service. This is the month when we should all distribute books, Bhagavad Gita books. This is the month when Krishna taught Arjuna Bhagavad Gita on the battlefield. Arjuna could understand Bhagavad Gita in 40 minutes. And we are reading Bhagavad Gita for the last 40 years and still we don't understand it properly. Why? Why we are not able to understand? Because my mind is not engaged in Krishna's service. My mind is engaged in material activities, material service. As a result, I am not able to develop that desire to serve Krishna. The desire will be there, but I am not fully implementing that desire. I am distracted by all the material things. So I am getting into serious problems. Okay. So it's being said, so the best thing is Kaivalyam, just becoming one with the Lord. That is not a very good thing. That's what the Acharya says. Read book further.
Many so-called devotees who think that in the conditional state we may worship the personality of Godhead, but that ultimately there is no personality. They say that since the absolute truth is impersonal, one can imagine a personal form of the impersonal absolute truth for the time being. But as soon as one becomes liberated, the worship stops. This is the theory, that is the theory put forward by Mayavadi philosophy. Actually, the impersonalists do not merge into the existence of the Supreme Person, but into his personal bodily luster, which is called the Brahma Jyoti. Although the Brahma Jyoti is not different from the personal body, that sort of oneness merging into the bodily luster of the personality of Godhead is not accepted by a pure devotee because the devotees engage in greater pleasure than the so-called pleasure of merging into his existence. The greatest pleasure is to serve the Lord. Devotees are always thinking about how to serve him. They are always designing ways and means to serve the Supreme Lord, even in the midst of the greatest obstacles of material existence.
See, when people say that Mayavadi say that we'll merge into the existence of the Lord, nobody merges into the. You can merge only into the Brahma Jyoti of the Lord. Brahma Jyoti of the Lord is outside the Vaikuntha Loka. So, under this Kaivalyam or in this Sayujya Mukti, you are not allowed to enter into the spiritual world. You are on the outside of the spiritual world where the Brahma Jyoti is there and you merge into that Brahma Jyoti of the Lord. That's what happens. Now, further, the other four, what do you call the other four types of muktis, where you got, the Sadhupya, Sadhukya, Sashti, and Samipya, there you enter into the Vaikuntha Lokas. But you don't enter into the Goloka Vrindavana. You enter only into these places and you are with the Supreme Lord. So sometimes when you go into the temple, you find even outside the temple, this Jaya, Vijaya standing there also with four arms. Krida, everything they have got. They wear everything. And people think that they are also gods and they worship them also. Actually, they are gatekeepers. But then that is a Sarupya Mukti. They all look alike. They also look like the Supreme Lord. Everybody. In Vaikuntha Loka. So, but that is not the best form of worship that is being said. The best form of worship is being said that is to worship the best form of worship is to engage oneself in the bhakti. Because only in bhakti there is some element of seva involved. And as living entities, we all want to serve somebody or the other. And Jivere Sutvoya Nityere Krishna Dasa. Again and again I'm telling the same shloka. Just to drive it into the head. That is what our original position is. Okay, we'll go ahead. Next paragraph, Prabhuji. The Mayavadis accept the description.
Shall I read, Prabhu?
Yeah, please.
The Mayavadis accept the description of the pastimes of the Lord as stories. But actually, there are no stories. They are historical facts. Few devotees accept the narrations of the pastimes of the Lord not as stories but as absolute truth. The word Mama Paurushani are significant. Devotees are very much attached to glorifying the activities of the Lord, whereas the Mayavadis cannot even think of these activities. According to them, the absolute truth is impersonal. Without personal existence, how can there be activity? Their personalities take the activities mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and other Vedic literatures as fictitious stories, and therefore they interpret them most mischievously. They 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 have
They
no
have no
idea of
idea.
the they have no idea of the personality of Godhead. They unnecessarily poke their noses into the scriptures and interpret into deceptive way in order to mislead the innocent public. The activities of Mayavada philosophy are very dangerous to the public, and therefore Lord Chaitanya warned us never to hear from any Mayavadi about any scripture. They will spoil the entire process, and the person hearing them will never be able to come to the path of devotional service to attain the highest perfection, or will able to do so only after very long time.
Yeah, now see here. Many people think, Krishna's pastimes, they think that it is all just stories, bedtime stories, they think. No. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma chame divyam Evam yo veti tattvataha tektvadeham punarjanma naiti mameti swarjana. Janma karma chame divyam. What does it mean? He says my janma and my karmas. Karmas means various pastimes. They are all divine. Divyam. Divine. Janma karma chame divyam. Evam yo veti tattvataha. They are all very genuine. I'm doing all these activities, all these pastimes. And those who read with faith, those who understand it and get involved in it, what happens then? Taktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti swarjana. Taktva deham. Deham is the body. For such persons, taktva deham, what do you say? Janma karamchme divyam yavam yo viti tattva taktva deham punarjanma. For such a people, there is no question of punarjanma. There is no question of getting another material body. Naiti mameti so Arjuna. Who Arjuna, they will never get. They don't have to come back into this universe again, material universe again. They all will get into the spiritual universe. So we should not think that Krishna stories are all mythological. These are the words introduced by Britishers, What is the meaning of mythology? Mythology means fictitious, imaginative stories. That is the actual meaning of mythology. But people without understanding the true meaning of mythology, they say all our Krishna's pastimes, Ramayana, Mahabharata, they are all mythologies, they think. No, they are all historical facts. Krishna was present in this universe. Krishna came down to this universe. Many people say, how can the Lord come down to this universe? Why not? He can also come down to this. This universe is after all created by him. So he can also come here. And he has given all these pastimes simply for the sake of his devotees. Paritranaya sadhana. What is this? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirvavati bharata abhyudanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujamiham paritranaya sadhunam. In order to paritranaya vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge. So he comes down to this material world simply to give us this knowledge, give us this lesson that I am there, believe me, and participate with me, pray to me, worship me, do everything. I will take care of you. Sarvadharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarvapabhyo mokshayishami ma shuchi. He says all these things in Bhagavad Gita. It's up to us how much we believe in it, how much we want to make our life successful. If we believe in all these things that is told by Krishna and follow his instructions in Bhagavad Gita, our life will become successful. Go ahead, next paragraph. It is clearly stated by Kapila Muni.
Yes, Prabhu. It is clearly stated by Kapila Muni that the bhakti activities or activities in devotional service are transcendental to mukti. This is called Panchama Purushartha. Generally, people engage in the activities of religion, economic development, and sense gratification, and ultimately they work with an idea that they are going to become one with the Supreme Lord Mukti. But bhakti is transcendental of all these activities. The Srimad Bhagavatam therefore begins by stating that all kinds of pretentious religiosity is completely eradicated from the Bhagavatam. Ritualistic activities for economic development and sense gratification, and after frustration in sense gratification, the desire to become one with the Supreme Lord, they are all completely rejected in Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam is specially meant for the pure devotees who always engage in Krishna consciousness in the activities of the Lord and always glorify these transcendental activities. Pure devotees worship the transcendental activities of the Lord in Vrindavana, Dwaraka and Mathura, as they are narrated in the Srimad Bhagavatam and other Puranas. The Mayavati philosophers completely reject them as stories, but actually they are great and worshipable subject matters, and thus are releasable only for devotees. That is the difference between Mayavadi and pure devotees.
We should understand, see, so clearly said, bhakti activities or activities in devotional service are transcendental to mukti. Ultimately, in conclusion, bhakti is what is important. The minute we take up this bhakti, automatically everything else will fall in place for us and our life will become successful. This is a simple truth that we need to understand, and accordingly when we work, automatically what will happen is we'll be able to successful, we'll be able to appreciate the Supreme Personality of Godhead and understand His greatness, glories, and be in the devotional service and make our life successful. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much to all of you. Any questions, any takeaways in today's class for anybody?
Yes, Prabhu. Today's take home lesson is do bhakti and do not expect any mukti, because when we do bhakti, automatically Krishna will give us. He will take us to Goloka Vrindavan when we do proper bhakti. And second thing is to control the senses. The first we have to control our tongue by eating Krishna prasadam and by chanting. Not by chanting only. I have time. Chanting is 24/7. We have to chant.
Okay, all right. Good. 2 points. Yeah. Anything else?
Hare Krishna, sir.
Hare Krishna. Sanjay.
Hare Krishna is the root of all devatas, so we should pray Krishna and as a supreme Lord. So we get
Yeah.
everything we need.
And what is the example for that?
Sorry, sir.
Example given. Analogy. Like we
No,
water
that,
the root of the tree.
yes, sir.
Yeah, explain.
Just like a tree gets water from the roots, from the soil, like that we
Yeah.
should.
Yeah. So root of the tree, the roots we
Yeah.
cannot see actually, right?
Yes, sir.
Krishna I cannot see. But if I pour water on the roots of the tree, automatically the trunk, the branches, the leaves, the fruits, the flowers, everything gets nourished.
Yes, sir.
Krishna. Similarly, I am not able to see Krishna, but I worship Krishna. Automatically, all the devatas, everybody gets satisfied by worshipping Krishna. We don't have to separately worship everybody. And by
Yes,
that,
sir.
what happens is, when everyone is satisfied, everyone is very favorable to us, and our life also becomes sweet. They all cooperate with us. Yeah, good point. So, yeah. Anybody else?
Prabhu, you said one more analogy for food in the fire. Food, no, as a, in our
Yeah.
stomach as a fire. It is there. How Krishna helps us to get digestion for that. In the same way, when we do worship to Krishna, what for that? For that,
Yeah.
I couldn't make it.
No, that is for, you don't have to separately do mukti, siddhi, etc. You don't have to do separately. Just by doing bhakti, everything gets covered.
Everything gets.
Just like eating food, you don't have to feed each and every part of your body. Just by
Okay.
eating food, the fire in the stomach digests and supplies it to all the parts of the body. Similarly,
Okay.
when you do bhakti, when you do your this one, what do you call this? When you do your bhakti,
Bhakti.
automatically bhakti, mukti, everything will get covered under that.
Okay.
Huh?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Where do you stay, Meenakshi?
Nikunja Mataji gave me this link to join. I'm from Canada, Prabhu.
You are from Canada. Okay.
In her house, one time I called her, then
Yeah,
I
I
spoke
know. Yeah,
with
correct. So in Canada, which part of Canada you stay?
Winnipeg, Prabhu, Manitoba.
Winnipeg. Geeta is also from Canada. That's why I asked.
Yeah,
Yes, Geeta iPhone 1, she is also from Canada. 12 Pro. Yeah,
I'm
any other
staying
point?
in
Venkateshwara
Manitoba.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
All
Krishna,
these days I was wondering at depth all our Sukshma, not Sukshma Sharira, the gross body will be going to water will evaporate, the air will go to the air, all this. And then I was worried about the Sukshma Sharira, that is mind, intelligence and false ego. Today in the 33rd sloka, it is mentioned that bhakti will dissolve all this subtle body.
Yes, correct.
So subtle body, this information I was looking all this time. What will happen to the subtle body? So subtle body, also material body actually.
Yes.
The Atma is only the spirit.
Yeah.
So when the devotional service is done, as mentioned in the sloka, it dissolves. the Sukshma Sharira dissolves. So
Now
I
you've
got
understood what it says by
answer.
Sukshma. Mm.
Yes, yes. So I got the
When-
answer for this. I was asking everybody what will happen to the Sukshma Sharira. So for the devotees, all this Sukshma Sharira also will dissolve, and the Atma will constantly serve the Lord. And today
Right. Now,
also
when
you
it
told
says,
us,
when it is said that Sukshma Sharira will dissolve, you should understand it the right perspective. What it means is there are two types of mind and two types of intelligence. One is when you come into this material world, you get a subtle body, which is again material. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying in the 7th chapter, he is saying, Bhumir apo nalo vayu kam mano buddhir evacha. He says that
yes,
no.
all these are material.
Yes, including Ankara. Then what is the next line? Ankara.
Manam Buddhi Agankar.
No.
Manam Buddhi Agankar, Prabhu.
No. That is what I'm saying. Bhumir apo nalo vayu kam mano buddhi evacha. Ahankara, he says, binna prakritir ashtada. It enters like
Ashtada, Binna
Binna
Prakritim
Prakriti
Ashtada.
Rashtada.
yeah,
Then
these
in the
eight.
next shloka, he says Aparayam Midi.
Yeah, correct. Hold on. So
Yeah.
the point is this, that these are all material. Even the mind, intelligence, false ego, they are material. But the minute you get into the devotional service and you become a great devotee, and when you go into the Vaikuntha Loka or Goloka Vrinda, when you get into the spiritual world, automatically you get the spiritual mind, spiritual intelligence, you start getting. So
Yes.
there you start
Spiritual-
getting another type of spiritual mind and spiritual intelligence you get, with which you will be able to do a better service for the Supreme.
And no false ego, real ego, that you are the servant.
The real ego will be there at that time. You will have. Right.
Yes.
You will have the real ego.
Prabhu, I have one doubt in that. That is called Atma, body, soul. So what is called, Prabhu, in the another terms?
Matlab,
Un-
I didn't.
the spiritual body, we will say that the spiritual body, no, after
Yeah.
leaving this subtle body, after that, if we are qualified to go back to Godhead, then
You
we
get
will
a
get it
spiritual
over
body.
there, spiritual body. There
You get a spiritual
there
body.
only we will get that pure spiritual manam buddhi agankar, right?
Yes. Correct. You will get
And
that.
also,
This
Prabhu, it's also spiritual body is called Satchidananda.
Satchidananda. Correct. You are right. That's what Mataji was trying to say. Satchidananda.
yeah.
So today also you told us what is the definition of bhakti. Rashikena Rashikesha Sevanam, Bhakti Ruchyate. And also you told us what is Uttama Bhakti. Anyabhilashita Shunyam, Jnana Karmadi Anavritam, Anukulena
Anukulena Krishnanu.
Krishnanushilanam, Bhaktir Uttama Bhakti. So nice, Prabhu, nice points. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else? Any questions? Anybody else?
One more takeover which is
Oh.
observed was still in material world we are always engaged in various activities because the soul is active. We tend to serve. We do a lot of activities. So why
Yes.
not serve the spiritual, the Lord itself, instead of
Yeah. Correct.
serving in the material? That was one more point.
Correct.
That's all.
Any questions anybody has?
Prabhu, we
Otherwise,
will be
we'll try to
engaged
follow.
in the material activities somehow, as long as his body has to work.
Sorry, I didn't follow what you're saying.
For a living, we have to engage in material activities also.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
So
Yeah, we'll be engaging in material
when
activities.
the
Correct.
free time you chant, in the rest of the time you remember.
No. See, it's like this. We have to engage ourselves in the material activities for our living. But then it's not that I'm doing it only to the extent that is required. I don't over endeavor myself. No. This over endeavoring is what people all do. They go to office, 12 hours they work, come back, again they work. But coming home also, people are sitting on the laptop only nowadays. They are on the laptop, they are trying to do the work, office work, they want to catch up. Because a lot of insecurity feeling has also crept into the minds of the people. If they don't work, then they will lose. They are forgetting this point that if you take shelter of Krishna, ultimately he is the one who is giving you all the protection. Nobody else can give you the protection. You may work 12 hours, 14 hours daily, but one day the boss can still terminate you.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
that can happen. But if you are under the protection of Krishna, nobody can do anything to you unless Krishna wants that to be done.
Yes. Yes. That's what I was. First
Even all
shloka,
those all those physical activities which we are engaged in, if Krishna is the center of all those activities, that
Yes,
will liberate us.
correct. That will liberate us from all these material attachments.
Yes.
True, correct. So we have to keep always Krishna in the center of all our activities and see how I can serve. Whatever I am doing, I have to see how I can relate it with Krishna. That is why it says, Anashaktasya Vishayan Yataraham Upayunjataha Nirbandhaha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagyam Uchyate. It says. Not developing any attachment for any of these things, but at the same time accepting whatever I have to put it in the service of the Lord. People are earning money. And people, after earning money, they're only thinking how I should keep that money very safe, only for my purpose, for my future. All these things people think. So once you start using it for Krishna, you will not be able to believe Krishna starts giving it in multiples in return. People are not able to understand that secret. You start giving it out to Krishna, then see what happens. Money comes in multiples because Krishna never takes anything like that, He's a man with lot of gratitude. If someone is giving something, he returns it tenfold at times. That's the way he is. He never keeps anything for himself. After all, he gives out. Take it, more and more you take. Like that he gives. These are the truths which people have to realize. Whatever ability I have got, I have to see how I can put it in the service of Krishna. If I am a good doctor, very good. Let me serve Krishna. Let me serve the devotees. Everybody let me do like that. When I do that, great. It will happen. I am a good singer. Let me use my voice to sing Krishna's bhajans, Krishna's songs. Let me use that is my strength, right? I can use that in Krishna's service. If I am a good cook, I can think how I can make nice bhoga for the Supreme Lord. Activities are the same. It's only the mental thinking of it change. And that little change can make a big difference in our life. Okay. So if there are no more questions, then we'll wind up the class for the day. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Guru
Jai.
Maharaj ki jai.
Guru Maharaj ki
Bhagavatam Granth Raj ki jai.
jai.
Hare Krishna to everyone.